Welcome back to True Life Lessons, where we explore profound narratives that illuminate the hidden corners of the human experience today. In a quiet, humble village nestled deep within the American countryside lived a young boy named Tommy, known for his diligence. Tommy was not born into wealth, so he learned the value of hard work and perseverance from a very young age. While other children played, Tommy balanced the heavy burden of farm labor with his burning desire for academic excellence and knowledge. Every night, under the dim light of an oil lamp, he poured his soul into books, dreaming of a brighter future. His hands were rough from the fields, but his mind was sharp, fueled by the hope of passing the final exams. The final year of high school approached, bringing with it the weight of expectations from his family and the entire village. He walked into the examination hall with a pounding heart, believing that his relentless efforts would finally pay off this time. However, life does not always follow our plans, and sometimes the pressure can cloud even the most prepared and brilliant minds. When the results were announced, Tommy was devastated to find that he had failed a crucial subject in the 12th grade. The world seemed to crumble around him as he watched his peers celebrate their success, leaving him alone in his failure. He walked home with a heavy heart, dreading the reaction of the villagers who had always expected great things from him. News traveled fast in the small village, and soon the whispers of his failure began to spread like a wildfire. The mockery was not subtle. People laughed at the boy who tried to rise above his station but fell back down. Their cruel words pierced his heart, shattering the confidence he had built over years of hard work and late-night study. He began to believe the labels they placed on him, seeing himself not as a hard worker, but as a failure. Desperate for a way to escape the noise and the pain, he wandered aimlessly, seeking silence, but finding none anywhere. He decided to visit old teacher Thomas, a wise man living on the hill, hoping to find some solace and answers. Teacher Thomas welcomed the broken boy with a warm smile, seeing the turmoil and the sadness hidden behind his young eyes. Tommy poured out his heart, telling the teacher about the exam, the failure, and the unbearable noise of the villagers' judgment. The old teacher listened without judgment, letting the boy release the heavy burden he had been carrying alone for days. Instead of offering words of comfort, the teacher went inside and returned with a glass filled to the brim with water. He placed the glass in Tommy's hand and gave him a strange challenge that seemed unrelated to his current problems. The teacher instructed him to walk through the village center and return without spilling a single drop of this water. Tommy was confused but respected his teacher too much to refuse, so he accepted the challenge with shaking hands. He began his journey, his entire being focused on the glass, knowing that one wrong step would mean failure again. As he entered the village, the people saw him and prepared to launch their insults and laughter at the boy. They shouted names and laughed, but Tommy did not look up. His attention was locked entirely on the fragile water. He knew that if he paid attention to them, he would lose his balance and spill the water he carried. Every step was calculated, every breath was measured. He became one with the task, shutting out the world around him. The insults that had hurt him so deeply before now became nothing more than meaningless background noise to his ears. He walked through the busiest part of the market, yet he felt as if he were walking in total silence. His mind had no room for fear or shame. It was entirely occupied by the singular purpose of protecting the water. Having crossed the village, he began his ascent back to the teacher, leaving the confused crowd behind him in silence. The villagers stopped laughing, puzzled by his lack of reaction and the intensity of his focus on the glass. He reached the porch, his arms aching, but the glass still full to the brim, not a single drop lost. The teacher smiled, took the glass, and asked Tommy if he had heard the insults thrown at him during the walk. Tommy realized that he hadn't heard a specific word. He was too busy focusing on keeping the water safe. The teacher explained that the noise was there, but it lost its power because Tommy's focus was elsewhere. When you are truly focused on your goals and purpose, the opinions of others become irrelevant background noise to you. The pain comes not from what people say, but from our own distraction and giving value to their empty words. He understood now that his failure was just an event, not his identity, and the mockery could not define him. With a renewed spirit, Tommy thanked the teacher and walked back down the path, ready to face the world again. He returned to his studies, but this time, he did not study with fear of failure or fear of judgment. People still whispered, but he did not hear them. His mind was like the glass of water, full and steady. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Tommy's consistency became his shield against the negativity of the outside world. When the exams came around again, he entered the hall not with hope, but with the certainty of his preparation. The questions that once seemed impossible now appeared clear and simple, unlocked by his focused mind and diligent preparation. On the day of the results, he stood before the board, not seeking validation, but simply to confirm his own work. His name was at the top of the list, a testament to the power of focus over the noise of distraction. The same people who had laughed at him now rushed to congratulate him, praising his intelligence and his remarkable resilience. Tommy accepted their praise with the same indifference he had eventually learned to show toward their mockery and cruel insults. He knew that their opinions were fickle, changing like the wind, while his own focus was the only constant truth. He shared his success with the old teacher, who simply smiled and poured him another cup of tea in celebration. The lesson Tommy learned is one that applies to all of us, navigating a world filled with constant, loud distractions. When you have a clear purpose, the negativity of others cannot touch you. It simply passes through you like air. Focus is not just about staring at one thing. It is about the active exclusion of everything that doesn't matter. Like the glass of water, your mind must remain steady regardless of the chaos and the noise that surrounds you. Tommy grew up to be a wise man himself, teaching others that the loudest voice should always be their own. He taught them that failure is not the end, but merely a distraction that tests your ability to stay focused. Do not let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice or shake your hand while walking. Stay true to your path, keep your eyes on the prize, and let the world talk while you keep working. The only validation you truly need is the one that stares back at you from the mirror every single morning. The world will not change for you, but when you change your perception, the world appears different in your eyes. Rise above the clouds of gossip and doubt, where the air is clear and your vision can stretch for miles. Walk your path with such conviction that the sound of your own footsteps silences the noise of the skeptical crowd. Remember the glass of water whenever you feel overwhelmed by judgment. Focus on what you carry, not who is watching. Life is too short to be lived according to the expectations and limitations that other people try to place on you. Be like the sunflower that turns towards the light, leaving the shadows of negativity to fall harmlessly behind it. Write your own story with the ink of determination, and do not let anyone else hold the pen for you. Clarity comes when you stop trying to listen to everyone and start listening to the purpose within your own heart. If you are struggling with the noise of the world today, take a deep breath and find your own focus. Share this lesson with someone who needs to hear it and help them find the silence within their own storm. May you walk your path with a steady hand and a focused mind, letting no drop of your potential spill. Thank you for watching True Life Lessons. Subscribe and join us next time for more stories that touch the soul.